Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm grateful to serve under your chairmanship, and I congratulate the Honourable Member for Sheffield for this very important debate. I have huge admiration for him, particularly on his reforms to PCSOs, although they're not the subject of this debate, something I was sceptical about, but I now realise, having seen how they work in my own constituency, how successful they are. Now, I should declare an interest that jointly with the Honourable Member for Luton North, I chair the APPG on further education, skills and lifelong learning, and have done a lot of work on apprenticeships since I was elected. Now, I agree with the Honourable Gentleman with his main argument that there should be more of a level playing field. I'm a strong supporter of the Association of Colleges and my own college in Harlow, which has achieved the best success rates in the country, because Harlow College does everything it can to help those from poorer incomes with apprenticeship programmes for young people leaving care, for single parents returning to work, and also running its own version of free school meals, even though it has no obligation and very little funds to do so. There are two main points that I would like to make today. First, the landscape of provision is very fragmented, and part of the problem is the lack of good information about which pupils at FE colleges are most in need of free school meals. And secondly, we have to make a moral case for this. For example, if the benefit was linked not only to attendance but also to hard work and good reports from teachers, this would prove to lower earner taxpayers who subsidise benefits that the money was being spent wisely and that students were taking responsibility. And I just want to look at these in turn briefly. My first point is that this problem is like an iceberg, and we may only be seeing the most visible tip. If you look at Harlow College in my constituency, they estimate that they have at least 350 students who are in need of 350 students who are in severe need of free school meals. And these are young people who turn up to college hungry every day and whose education is at significant risk as a result. Now, Harlow College do not get direct funding to help these students. However, they have used the new 16 to 18 bursary scheme, which replaced EMA, to give some of these students a food subsidy of around £1.20 a day, 3 days a week through the campus canteen. Now, this is not as generous as free school meals, but doing what they can with a limited budget. And I should add that in my constituency, there is only one school which has sixth form, and the vast majority of children go to Harlow College. Now, the principal, Colin Hindmarch, has no legal obligation to do any of this, and the money he gets is insufficient to provide full meals through the week. But he believes that this is necessary to help the poorest students. Now, there are many things that I admire about Harlow College and the principal, but above all, it is the college's belief that everyone can get good results no matter what start they have had in life, if the college supports them. However, the problem is made harder because the college doesn't know who is likely to be hungry. 80 secondary schools send pupils there. Most of them don't share data on free school meals with the college. So the college has to guess, in essence, who needs help and who is at risk. Now, the Association of Colleges estimate the cost of extending the right to free meals to college students at around £38 million. And I do believe, as the Honourable Gentleman said, that much of that money could be found through efficiencies. There is a surplus, for example, in the free schools budget at the current time, and perhaps some of that money could be taken from there. Now, when I say the moral case for free school meals... Please.
That's what he said, because to the outside world, listening to this debate would be actually shocked. And we get used to saying things and not actually appreciating what the words actually mean. He said that some of his students are hungry. I think that will be true of many of us. Like in Sheffield, we've got two colleges in this position, where had they gone to the sixth form, pupils would have got free school dinners. They don't get them at the colleges. And yet we're actually, in this day and age, in a rich country, a very rich country, we're talking about some of our pupils being hungry. It's the most extraordinary state of affairs. And I hope that's going to be borne in mind by the Minister when he actually replies, that he's presiding over an education system where some people are hungry.
Robert Halfon.
My honourable friend, as so often on social issues, is absolutely right. And the fact is that these students are doing the right thing. They're going to college because they want to learn. And for them to go to college and not have the money to feed themselves through no fault of their own is socially unjust. Now, when I talk about the moral case for free school meals, I mean we need to have a fair deal between students and taxpayers, something that is respectful on both sides. And I do believe, as I just said, that we must help hungry students and give them the energy to concentrate. But it is also fair to ask them to work hard to apply themselves rather than just simply to attend. And I think that was a problem with the EMA in the past. The welfare state fails when it simply becomes a handout, unconditional and too easily abused. And at times this becomes deeply corrosive for public confidence and has undermined support for helping the most vulnerable in our society. And that's why I support reforms such as the universal credit, because it's a proper contract. It says that it will always pay to work, but also that welfare is conditional on the genuine effort to find a job. And I would urge the government to embed the same DNA in other entitlements, especially free school meals, alternatives such as the 16 to 18 bursary. Now, this is not the nanny state. I do believe there is a cost-benefit analysis. And for example, in 2011, the Food for Life Partnership, I'll just finish my paragraph and then I'll give way. In 2011, the Food for Life Partnership published academic research showing that a better uptake of free school meals increased school grades and ultimately the life chances of young people. Head teacher Seamus O'Donnell, who was involved in the pilot studies, stated, "After lunchtime, we used to have around 10 to 12 calls out for challenging behaviour in an hour. We did a survey 2 years after the pilot and we were down to 4. There was a correlation between improved food provision in school and better behaviour after lunchtime." Give way.
The honourable gentleman for giving way is really very generous given the time intend to speak, but I really do have to respond and point out that in countries such as Finland, every child, regardless of their background, gets a free school meal up to the age of 18. And Finland has one of the highest levels of educational attainment in the world. Is there not a case, therefore, it's not about the nanny state, is this not about making sure that children are able to learn while they're in the school environment?
Robert Halfon.
Well, that is where I differ from the honourable lady. I passionately believe that free school meals should be available for those people on lower incomes, especially those who go to FE colleges. And we, as I've argued, that we don't have a level playing field. But I don't accept the argument that the majority of taxpayers who are lower earners should then subsidise school meals for those people who come from wealthier incomes. Now, in conclusion, we cannot have FE colleges that are only for the wealthy, and this is the problem, is that only wealthy students who can afford school meals will be encouraged to go. There is a cost-benefit argument for some form of free school meals, or a subsidised canteen, as in Harlow College, and I'd urge the government to look at obliging schools to share data on which pupils need free school meals with FE colleges. More financial support for FE colleges to level the playing field with sixth form colleges and schools, and also to top up the new 16 to 18 bursary scheme. And finally, to embed the DNA of the universal credit into entitlements such as free school meals, to show that this is a contract, not a handout. And if lower earner taxpayers are to make a contribution to this, it's only fair for students to offer something in return, such as the promise to work hard at their studies. The government has the ambition of 100% of young people, aged 16 to 18, participating in education and training by 2015. The experience of Harlow College shows that fair provision of free school meals will be absolutely essential to achieving that.